I noticed a lot more lambs because spring has sprung, but this horse here caught my attention. Looks like he's resting his leg. Hope he's okay. This family came flying over here when I showed up. They were sitting under that orange trees and lemon trees over there. And then they just bolted over here when I got close. I don't know what they were expecting. Food? What did you guys want? You're not shy at all. You got plenty of food. I love cherry trees in the spring. So nice. Well, hello contrast. I know it's not too funny. Here in this potentially high contrast zona, I've got some cloud cover, which is nice. You know, this wannabe comedian isn't the president of a country, so, you know, I'm not that funny. And the situation in Ukraine isn't that funny either. But I was reflecting about how quickly we forgot about Afghanis after the US pulled out of Afghanistan. And even though we're facing a flood of refugees from Ukraine into Europe, they're European people, more or less. Can be considered, of course, European, and they want to be European, so Europe's going to welcome them. But the war itself, I'm amazed at how quickly people can become jaded. And as it continues to drag on, if it does, if it becomes like Syria, or if it becomes Balkanized, and NATO decides to strike certain parts of it in favor of other parts of it, you know, one just worries that we get jaded to it as we're all hanging around waiting to see if nuclear war happens. I mean, that's just so frightening, it's ridiculous, just how close we are to the real thing. I don't know what panels of risk organizations are going to say, but we must be pretty damn close, a hair's breadth away from midnight at the moment. Anyway, I was thinking about what's important in the future. I want to make more videos about where I'm living, kind of my brief history of heaven type videos, and forget about the rest of it, because I don't think what I have to say about it matters, and it's not going to catch on anyway. No matter who says it. Much has been written, many books have been written, people have read them, but we're still in this crazy game A, hyper-competitive shite show. So, want to focus on the good things around here and do some more exploring on the bicycle and to some different parts of Portugal. So what I really want to do is make a kind of a little short series about what I consider we need to do about our thought processes, our thinking patterns and behaviors and disciplines to protect ourselves from the nonsense, the propaganda, the bullshit. It's amazing that Carl Sagan, a wonderful science communicator, laid things out so well in Demon Haunted World and other writings and TV shows, how important it is to have a good functioning bullshit detector kit in one's brain. And of course, there are critical thinking skills, courses you can take online, and on and on and on, to improve your thinking, your logic, your understanding of biases and heuristics, your understanding of intuition, and inspiration or spiritualism, the scientific method, rationality, skepticism, whether positive popular skepticism or classic philosophic skepticism, and so on and so forth, and we can all learn about that stuff. Do we want to? I don't know, but I want to give you guys my 10 cents on the dollar version of what I think is important to do if one wants to sharpen one's sense of sense-making, skills and abilities of critical thinking and whatnot. And I'm not saying I'm an expert. I've just learned to audit myself, to be present-minded about my own judgments, and to criticize my own thinking. So when I emotionally jerk towards a perspective or point of view or opinion, I always pull myself back these days and say, wait a minute, why am I so emotional about this? Where did that come from? Why is it there? Is it truly important that I feel these emotions, or can I dial them back a little bit and think more clearly about what's going on, you know? Truth-seeking and so on, understanding truthiness versus truth, understanding when people are gish-galloping their way through your brain using a true statement here and then a whole bunch of bullshit for the rest of the time, you know, these things. Much has been said and written, and like I say, I'm not an expert, I'm not a master, I don't own the kung fu, you know, I'm not a logic whisperer. I'm not your man, I'm not your guy. But I want to work that out for myself with my friends and put that on the tubes, on Rumble and YouTube and on my blog. And leave it at that, because I can see in the future there's going to be more and more problems like this arising. And we're going to make similar mistakes, and we're going to keep feeding the heat engine, which is civilization, with what it wants, which is material things and plastic bits and addictions to various stimulation, hyperstimulation of our brains and bodies. And we're going to keep maintaining our stories, our narratives with the good old cognitive dissonance and whatnot. It's going to be hard to get through to people. So just encouraging people to try to sharpen up their bullshit detector kit is probably the most we can do at the moment. See if it catches on. And to propagate and tell stories that are positive and helpful and heading in the right direction. Game B-ish kind of experiments in thought about how to structure and organize society, economies, new ways of you know, defining and developing theories of economics, politics, and the whole thing. We do it because we're interested in it, because it excites us, not because we think we're going to change the world. Come follow me, I'm going to change the world. No, it's not like that. The rewards are there for us because we enjoy learning about how things work. And we're not into this desire to beat everybody else down, you know? To own the libs and to destroy the fascists and all that kind of thing. So that's it. That's what I'm going to leave it at, and we'll see. It's going to be more fun. I want to concentrate more on filmmaking and, you know, get into that process. Not that I've been doing anything on YouTube, but that's what I want to do moving forward. So let's help each other work out what you really have to have in your bag, so to speak, of bullshit detecting and sense making and critical thinking and understanding and inspiration and your spirit, not in the magical thinking sense of it, but in the inspiration sense of it, right? So help me out here, okay, folks? Thanks a lot. Bully MT, out. So I loop this loop around this strap and stick it in the side pocket on the outside of the bag here. And that keeps this little tripod safe from falling out of my bag when I'm riding the bicycle. And this is my small kit. I can put my camera in here, microphone, another lens, all the stuff I need to make a video, and it's very compact. It fits over my shoulder, and I can take my Olympus out and shoot. And I use the Olympus because the autofocus in a certain mode is good. So let me focus in on the tire and you'll see it changes. And then if I pull up here, so the autofocus is pretty good. Zoom back. Of course, I have to change the exposure now, but you see what I'm saying. I have a nice variable ND filter on this thing. So if I show you by not clicking the aperture, I can just dial it down. It's very silent. So I can dial down the exposure here. And then, like I said, if I want to zoom in, it'll rack focus. And then if I want to make it lighter, I can move that variable ND filter and lighten up the scene there a little bit. So this Olympus OM1 OMD M1 Mark II is a really nice little camera. Nice place to live. And fun for run and gun and travel and stuff. And it takes really good photos. If you're a good photographer, not like me. You see, I can dial down the exposure there with the ND filter and you get the sky in the background. And if I come down here and I want to lighten it up, I can just move. And it focuses pretty darn good.